Awful. You just said lots of good things today, but disappointing scoreline in the end. But what's your view of pre-season as a whole?
Yeah, I know it's a cliche, but really winning and then losing today wasn't overly important. It's about seeing the things that we feel we've worked on. And certainly, when I'd say the start 11, we're up to half time. I think we created 4 very, very good chances against an error probably from Ross, but also a very cheap free kick given away. So again, things to work on there. Don't give away cheap free kicks against a team that's got 4 players of 7 foot plus. And then obviously going forward, I thought first half in good shape, lots about us, and overall very, very pleased. And it's been a good pre-season. I think the lads have really gelled well. The Jersey trip really helped, and I know that with no points on today, that last game, it's always the hardest one. Yeah. I've always found that, and I thought it was a decent run out for us today against a decent Bromley team again.
And in the past in pre-season, we finished it. We've had a few injuries. Are we fairly free of that going into next week?
Well, that was a benefit of today. I mean, obviously, I managed to get Dean Beckwith 20 minutes. He's had a sore knee. We also saw Craig McAllister come through his first game. He's had obviously a sore ankle. So, in general, get Lewis John back on the pitch as well was a real positive. The only negative today is that Jamie Collins has gone to hospital with either kicking a rib or a kicking a kidney. So we're not too sure how bad it is, but it's bad enough for Bobby to take him to the hospital.
And Kevin Amankwa back in action today.
Yeah, that was important because I think he's had a really good pre-season, and we didn't. Kevin wasn't fit to play last Saturday or Tuesday, but has trained and worked really well. And again, he gives us a good outlet on the right hand side, and obviously we've been working on his throws and trying to create situations from that as well.
Big squad in pre-season. Are you fairly confident you know what your side is for next week?
Yeah, I think we've pretty much known for a week or two what we felt would be our start 11. There's 1 or 2 that have put their hands up. There's 1 or 2 that still need to find a bit more form. But it's a bit like golf. When you come back, if you're not swinging it every day of every week, then you lose a bit of sharpness. And at the moment, we're probably not quite as sharp up front as I'd like. But it will come in games, and if we keep that same work ethic and the high press and all the stuff that we're doing, then I think we'll do okay.
Just one guy that's played in some of the early games, not been featured so late, has been mentioned on the forum, Tommy Wright. I think he gave a good impression when he played.
He's done fantastically well, and he is going to be with us. He's actually away with his family for 2 weeks. That was pre-arranged prior to him even thinking he'd be coming down to the football club. Did well at Winchester and for a half at Palace and a half at Bristol Rovers, but obviously he's been away. So Tommy comes back, I think, next week or the week after, and he'll be in and around the 18-19. With Emil Salah, I thought Emil played really, really well when he come on again today, and he's another one who's impressed. There's lots of positives. Shakil's still got a sore ankle, that's why he hasn't figured the last couple of weeks.
And there's big change as well as the pitch you're playing on. The players, do you feel the players have adapted to it?
Yeah, well, I mean the pitch is fantastic. There's no 2 ways about that. The one thing that we have realised is we're going to need to get water on it. We got some on it today, but not enough. And we have got a system coming in next week to give that pitch a bit more fizz and a bit more life to it. But it's a fantastic surface, and I think everyone so far has been pleased with it.
And looking forward to next week now, start of the season, and a big game, with the other 3G side. And
we got tough. Yeah, I mean it's a tough first week. You've got Maidstone who are coming up as Ryman Premier champions, and you always get that momentum like we did that year. We then go to Havant on the Tuesday night, and I'll have them as one of the 2 or 3 favourites to win this league. And then obviously a tough away game at Dartford. So, it's given us a tough start, but one that if we get points from, that will give us some real confidence as well. So. Looking forward to Maidstone, a good club, really well supported. I think they're going to be bringing quite a few down as well. So yeah, it's a real 3G derby, as they say. But from our point of view, it is important to win home games this year. We didn't win enough of them last year, and we want to put that right.
We know it's going to be a competitive league, but looking forward to the league season there.
Yeah, I generally think there's 7 or 8 or 9 even teams this year that will feel they've got an even chance of either going up or making the playoffs, and that makes it a really good league. I think the Kent teams, all 4 Kent teams coming in. It's going to be very good. I mean, you've got Margate and Maidstone, Dartford, and obviously Ebbsfleet. So that's those 4, and then Havant, have brought in some great players as well, I think. And Lee and Sean have got a good team together there, and obviously Whitehawk and Basingstoke from last year made the playoffs. So yeah, I think this league's probably the strongest it's been for some time. And you could sort of kick yourself 2 years ago for not going up on the Dover game, because that's probably the weaker, I think, of the leagues. But I think the Conference South this year is going to be as good a league as it's ever been.